Welcome to our Emerald Coast community, where we highlight the businesses, people, and organizations that are making a difference in our community. My name is Erin Thatcher, and I'm with the ARC of the Emerald Coast, and today I have the Northwest Florida Ballet. I have Josh and the Board of Directors President for Northwest Florida Ballet, Ms.
Julia Sandwith.
Awesome. And we're here today to introduce them because they are a nonprofit, 501c3. And Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Northwest Florida Ballet?
So the Northwest Florida Ballet is an organization, as you said, a nonprofit here in the community. We are currently in our 49th season, and we have 3 different parts of our organizations that include our community school that offers a variety of classes to all age ranges and skill levels. And then we have our company, which does all of the different performances that you see throughout the community, whether the Nutcracker over at Mattie Kelly or, you know, this past October, Midsummer Dream out in Grand Boulevard. And then we actually have our academy, which is a public school, a partnership with Okaloosa County School District for grades 3 through 8th. And then we also have a pre-professional program that's a part of the academy for high schoolers that get, you know, credits for coming half day with us and doing dance, and then half day school at the school of their choice.
Oh, wow.
High school.
Mm-hmm. And the mission and vision for Northwest Florida Ballet, did you want to touch on that and share with us?
Basically, we're a company, you know, that offers the community an opportunity to see, you know, professional quality ballet in different various performances throughout the area, while at the same time, just like what Josh said, is we have the academy, so we educate through our artistic school.
I mean, that's really, that our purpose here is not to just provide those quality performances, but to be able to immerse the community with, you know, arts, and through our school to be able to give kids who might not necessarily, you know, fit in at a regular public school because they have a passion for the arts and for dance, the opportunity to come here to an FB for free, you know, like,
right.
and it is, we have about 30% of our students are on, you know, the free reduced lunch, so we look at it as an opportunity to provide in this community an outlet that can either break the cycle or just provide opportunities for these students that they wouldn't get elsewhere. So I feel like, in a nutshell, that's what we're here to do.
That's awesome. And we were talking earlier how amazing this and how y'all, you know, what y'all have at Northwest Florida Ballet is to our community, because typically it's something you find in a larger city, so to have here is actually like a real gem.
Absolutely.
It is an absolute gem to have this in our community. I mean, like what you said, usually you find a place like this in New York City. So to have this in a very small town where we have professional training for classical ballet with true technique, and to give these students an opportunity to not only train but to perform for the public. And the other special thing that we have is we also perform with live symphony orchestra. So that is something that's very rare for a dancer in a small town. So the fact that we can do that here in small Fort Walton Beach, Florida is incredible. And to be a dancer and have that opportunity to dance with the live symphony orchestra is such a it's a very special thing to have. And, you know, as far as your training as a dancer, to be able to perform with a conductor watching you and learning how to adapt that choreography to the new tempo is something that is a really difficult thing to learn, and it's imperative that they learn it. And so the fact that we get to offer that to them as part of their training is a really special opportunity.
And to like expound a little bit on what you said about finding, you know, something like this in a larger city, you don't even like, we are one of a kind, you know, with the organization that we have and the partnership we have with our school district. You won't find something like that anywhere else. You'll find, you know, ballet companies who offer after school care, and, you know, they bus their students from their school to the ballet and teach them an after school class. Or you'll find something, you know, to where it's a private art school where you pay tuition. But to have what we have here as a partnership that is free and available to our students, you're not going to find that anywhere else. And to have it in Fort Walton Beach, it's a gem, as you said, at 100% a rare finder.
Yeah, I think we were talking to earlier, because a lot of the schools, like where I grew up, not here in Fort Walton, you know, I believe it was a private school, and that's where you have all this. So to have that partnership is just quite amazing. But I wanted to move on because this is a big year for y'all, right? I
Coming
mean,
up.
Share with us what's going on and what's happening and what y'all plans are this year that we can.
So we will be finishing our 49th season in June.
Okay.
And we will be doing a free community event, a performance out at Grand Boulevard again. It's going to be Ballet at Twilight. And so it's going to be a mixed repertoire of things, but it's going to be, you know, out in nature, you know, like outside under the stars, watching people dance. It's a great opportunity. And then that ends our 49th season.
Okay.
And then we get into our 50th, you know, because what happens after 49, 50, right? So we have a great seasons coming up. We're kind of keeping it kind of on the low down for now. We want to, you know, finish the 49 strong and then be able to come out with, like, look at all these great things we're going to be offering the community. So yeah, our 50th anniversary is coming up next year, the 2019-2020 season. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff out in the community.
And your season runs from, like y'all were explaining to me, from the kind of start of school year, so July, August, and then it runs a full cycle, which I think is completely smart to keep that in line with that. And then as far as how did you get involved in Northwest Florida Ballet? You were sharing with me earlier that you kind of found this by a passion that you had when you were younger.
You know, I grew up dancing classical ballet. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I danced in a pre-professional company very similar to this one, and I stopped dancing when I was about 20. I was in college and decided I just would go the professional route, and so I you know, had my career and my family, and we moved to Fort Walton about 11 years ago, and after I had my son, I decided I should try the adult ballet class. And so I started doing that, and at the Northwest Florida Ballet, and it's been so much fun, and that's how I kind of got reconnected again with the ballet.
And I think that's so important, because I know some family members who, I mean, they danced, you know, from young, and then that life happens, that split where you make that professional decision of, okay, am I going to continue down this road? Is that the right path for me, or am I going to, you know, make more of a professional, you know, beeline or decision, and to have that opportunity for the adults, because, you know, I know what my passions are, you know, and to have that available to people who might have gone away from it for a little bit must be so fulfilling.
It's fantastic. The great thing about our ballet company, or the Northwest Florida Ballet, the community classes, is they have 3 adult classes that are intermediate level. So these are for people who perhaps danced when they were younger, they have some ballet background, and it's fun, it's social, it's great exercise, you know, it's relaxed because it's an adult class. Now we also have a beginner adult class once a week. So these are for people who've always wondered what it was like to dance, but they've never stepped foot in a studio, and this is for them. And it's so much fun. I just can't emphasize that enough. And so you're right. I mean, to be able to go back to what I had a passion for and have this opportunity again in a small town is fantastic. So there, and you know, with the after school classes, you know, aside from the adult classes, I mean, we have classes for 3-year-olds all the way through adults, from anywhere from classical ballet to jazz to modern, contemporary. So
yeah, because that's other than the school, y'all have the classes for, so anybody can sign up their kid or themselves and go. And Josh, tell me a little bit.
So I'm not a dancer. I
really?
But I you know, went to school out at UWF, got involved in the community and kind of politics around there. Did a little stint, you know, with a company up in DC doing digital advocacy, and then, you know, decided that for me, I wanted to be a part of something that, you know, wasn't so soul-sucking, and really allowed me to feel like I was a part of something that was bigger and really making a difference. And so when I got back here, you know, in the area, I was just looking around, and honestly, Indeed jobs, like I found the community relations, like, you know what? Campaigning, selling an idea and a person to someone is a lot harder than selling the arts, I think. And so for me, it was a transferable skill. I applied, got the job, and I've been in love with it ever since. And I feel like being able to be passionate about what you do goes a long way in being able to get other people on board in what you're doing. So I feel connected to it, even though, again, I'm not a dancer, but I love the arts.
Yeah,
so.
And I think you're a creative person, and you think outside the box, getting to know you more and more, and I just see such a blend, because I love creating and, you know, thinking outside the box, like you were talking about, like the arts and all of that help, and it's a needed skill that not all kids get to experience.
Absolutely.
When they're droned with, you know, testing and learning to take the test and all of this stuff, that to free their mind for that possibility. And that's important.
I mean, that itself, I come up from a family of teachers, and so to work in a public school setting and seeing what these kids do, how happy they are coming to school, how disciplined they are, you know, and just their behavior, aside to what I've seen and heard from my mom and her stories, teaching, like it's night and day, and to be able to provide these kids with something that they feel passionate about and energetic and motivated to go to school, you don't see that in the public school system. And so I think like that alone is something that we provide these kids, just that lifelong ability to be disciplined, be motivated, and enjoy life.
Be happy about it. Right,
no, exactly.
Right,
so,
be happy. But, and this kind of segues into, y'all were telling me 50 years. You know, and how it started, and share with everybody a little bit about.
So 49 years ago, our founder Bernadette Sims started a little company and community class in her house. She was inviting, you know, dancers to come in, teaching them, providing that love for dance. And eventually, you know, our current CEO and artistic director, Todd Eric Allen, was a student of Bernadette. And so he went on, did his career, and as Bernadette was wanting to, you know, kind of take a step back from running the organization, she asked him to come back. Him and his wife are now there, and, you know, they're part of the leadership and the staff. And it's cool because that family environment, the ability to know that, you know, he was affected by his teacher, and now he wants to do the same thing, so he started the school.
Oh,
you know, in
wonderful.
2001, he was one of those students who really couldn't afford those extra lessons or whatever, and being able to understand where that environment comes from, and be able to provide that opportunity for those other kids like himself who don't have the opportunity to pay for that, or to, you know, have those things, for us to provide that opportunity. I know that's a huge personal accomplishment for Todd. I know he's very proud of what he's done here with that community, and to be able to give back to the community that gave him so much.
And I like yourself. I'm not a dancer. I think I can dance. Not to say. So, but you know, to think about him going to somebody's house and seeing that passion firsthand, to learn a skill and to, you know, learn about movement of your body and everything, and then to transition that, to give that to kids. I mean, how beautiful, and what a great community we live in to have these people to give that opportunity. Because sometimes in a larger, you know, I find in a larger community, we, especially in the field that I work in, sometimes you want to implement things, but there's barriers because of all the bureaucracy, all of the people. But living in such, you know, literally our great community, we're able to think outside the box. We're able to implement things, and, you know, we're bonded together through common interests of, I love going, I mean, I've attended 3-4 years now, the Nutcracker, and all of us girls line up, and the little girls, my daughters and my cousins, all get, you know, and that's what we look for every year, is to go to the ballet to see the Nutcracker. And you know, to have y'all provide these services to us is just, you know, it's a treasure. It's literally a treasure. Is there anything coming up that you would like to share other than your 50th, or you're going to announce that? We're
gonna be able to announce our 50th season and the shows a little bit later. We still do have that June 22nd show out at Grand Boulevard, and, you know, if you're interested in taking community classes, you can always come in. You know, we have opportunities for, you know, as Julia said, everybody. So, you know, just come in downtown, see our building, we'll offer you a tour, we'll do what we can.
And they can go to your Facebook page to find out about the event, your website.
Instagram, we're all over. Okay. You'll probably see billboards and posters about us out there, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then tickets, anything ticket-wise?
So since the show in June is a free show, there are no tickets. But when we do have performances for the 50th coming up, our tickets are available online on our website, and it's very simple to use.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much. Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
If somebody wanted to donate,
yes.
if somebody wants to be on the board, if somebody wants to be more interested, how do they do that? What's the first steps?
I would say first step, come and see our show. You know, like come to our show, come get, you know, a taste of what we do, and then, you know, interact with us, have a conversation. We're always available and ready to just have a conversation. And so, you know, if you want to be on our board, we are accepting new board members. Julia, the president here, you know, would be a great person to reach out to and talk to. If you're wanting to donate, again, reach out to me, call the office, go online. We do have a donation page on our website so that you can donate directly to us there. There's just lots of ways. So
and they can come visit y'all down here, and you were saying we can do tours
do a tour.
and
give you a tour.
Show everybody.
Most likely I'll be the one. This great smile will give you a tour.
He does have a good personality, I will say that. And he makes you smile even on a cloudy day. So
literally cloudy day.
Literally cloudy day. So I'm not lying about this one. Well, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to come out here. I enjoy, you know, seeing you every month at the CARE
I was going to say, can I give a shout out to the CARE Committee?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason we're here. We're being a part of the Walton Beach Chamber's CARE Committee. You know, like, this is a great opportunity for us to get involved and get our message out there. So when you have a nonprofit that's out there that wants to, you know, have an opportunity like this, come on out to the CARE Committee for Walton Beach Chamber.
Yep, we're highlighting a nonprofit every month, and the only way you can get to have that opportunity is to come and attend. And we literally picked Josh's name out of it.
She's our awesome chair, you know, our leader.
So so we're excited to see the things that go on this year. And even if you're not a nonprofit, business organization, personal board member or whatever of an organization, volunteer. Yeah,
we always need those.
Always need volunteers. You can come out and check it out. Thanks for that shout out.
Absolutely, thank you.
So I want to thank everybody, and thank you for letting us showcase our community at Emerald Coast TV.
The Emerald Coast Science Center strives to inspire and grow a scientifically engaged community. Our center has promoted STEM education and public outreach in Okaloosa County and beyond for over 25 years, and is committed to serving children and families through excellent STEM programming and exhibits. In the museum, patrons will find a facility for all ages with touchable, workable exhibits that teach about natural phenomena and basic scientific principles. The center displays over 45 exhibits, including a STEM makerspace with unique hands-on challenges, a diverse animal exhibit, our Emerald Coast Ecosystem exhibit, and much more. And coming in 2018, we're proud to debut Small Lab, a cutting-edge learning experience that places you at the center of all the action. Come discover the difference a hands-on encounter with science can make at the Emerald Coast Science Center.
Caring for a family member can be challenging and lead to countless questions for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Did you know that Okaloosa County is ranked 9th in the state of Florida for the highest percentage of children in foster care? There are nearly 1,500 foster children in Circuit 1 and only 330 homes available. Despite great efforts by amazing agencies, the numbers continue to grow. I'm Tracy Williams, a former foster parent and executive director for the United Methodist Children's Home of Northwest Florida. While I am new to the organization, the Children's Home is not new to the industry. We've been here serving vulnerable children in Alabama and Northwest Florida for over 125 years. We're serving more than 100 children right here in Okaloosa, Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Walton counties. You can help us by donating to organizations that run programs for foster care or volunteering to be a host foster care family. To learn more about who we are, what we do, or the children we serve, check us out on our Facebook page or our website. Or you can email or phone me. Thank you.
Let me ask you this. What can you tell someone in 60 seconds? The answer is enough to spark their curiosity. Now, do you have an elevator pitch for yourself or your business? A clever tip or two you'd like to share with others or your customers? A special event coming up that you'd like to promote? Or a new product or service that you're excited to tell everyone about? If the answer is yes, are you using video on Facebook, YouTube, or on your website? And if so, are you using your own camera, smartphone, or slideshow creator? Now, how happy are you with the quality? Good lighting, good audio, good video image? If the answer is, it could be better, then let us help you. Let Emerald Coast TV take the technical side of video production out of your way so you can focus on your message. Our turnkey studios can have your video shot, edited, and in your hands on the same day. Intrigued? Contact us. Let us help you tell your story. Hi, and welcome to our Emerald Coast Community, a show that focuses the businesses, organizations, and people that are making a difference in our community. I'm your host, RJ Murdock, and today I have with us a special guest. This is Rick Soria, and he is the STEM Outreach Coordinator for the Doolittle Institute here in Niceville, Florida. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
First of all, tell me a little bit, what does a STEM Outreach Coordinator do? And basically, what's the Doolittle Institute?
The Doolittle Institute works with a partnership intermediary agreement through the Air Force Research Lab. And their missions are to do innovation, collaboration efforts. They also do technology transfer. And I work in what's called the workforce development, where we work with adults and students to prepare the future workforce. So for STEM, we reach across 16 counties in the Panhandle and try to get robotics and STEM activities into classrooms.
Oh, and that's, I've done a few things for the Doolittle Institute before, and it's an amazing, amazing facility. They've really expanded since they've moved to their new location. And they're constantly doing stuff, Innovation Thursday, Innovation Discovery events, where they're bringing in people who have kind of unique ideas developed for one type of problem, technical problem, and seeing how, if they present it to a panel of experts, whether they can come up with maybe some other possible industries that could benefit from that. So it's a really cool institute. And one of the things that I got a chance to basically be there to get some B-roll footage and stuff like that was National Engineering Day
National Engineers Week. We had a celebration on the 20th of February. Our boss, Miss Carolyn Fries, is an engineer. And she said, hey, why don't we put something together to celebrate that? So we came up with a bunch of hands-on activities where we invited the homeschool community, about 75 of them, and parents came, and so there were about 100 people there, 120 people. But we had 4 different activities where the students would rotate and have to fill out a passport and do all the different things that we had for them. But as an aside to that, we also found out that there was a group of kids in Panama City who had wanted to come from a school, but we were already maxed, so we couldn't take anybody else. So we got together with the SHU Foundation, the Boys and Girls Club, and of course ourselves, and we went out to Panama City and made a presentation to them at their school at St. Bernadette. It was great. Kids were awesome.
So you had a couple of different, what would you call them, technologies and
well, the kinds of activities that we do are, for example, we explain to the kids how coding works, and then they made binary bracelets to reinforce the concept. It's a manipulative. They have to put together a bracelet with their initials in code. We talked about the forces of flight and the physics of flight. Kids will learn physics if they think they're learning about making paper airplanes. It works every time. And then the SHU Foundation had some electromagnetic activities where the kids were putting things together and making catapults out of spoons and things. All of them are manipulatives. You got to get past the point where you're just talking to kids and let them do things. They learn better with their hands.
Well, and there was also things with the environment. There was the water.
On the 20th of February, we had a group there that came from Eglin, and they had an environmental activity for the kids. We also had again 4 forces of flight in aerospace. We also had the binary bracelets there, and so there were just activities that the kids would circulate through, do some activities, and then we would mark their little passports, and at the end they got a certificate making them an honorary engineer.
It was interesting watching them, you know, writing their notes as they're taking it. I don't know if that was part of what their requirement was.
Their passport had answers. They had to answer questions from each stop, and that's because I used to work for a superintendent who was a science teacher, and she would always say, if there's no data collected, it's just arts and crafts. So they had to fill out their passport with information about each stop to show that they had been there. It was great.
And there was also, they had a little robotic section in it
yes.
as well.
Yeah, well, and we do Doolittle Institute STEM outreach. We have over 250 robotics teams in the Panhandle. Miss Bierman, the STEM outreach program director, she has the middle school and the high school kids across the Panhandle, and I do all of the K through 4 kids. I've got 137 robotics teams that we support, train teachers, and loan materials to, because a lot of times the schools don't have the resource.
So you had robotics covered, you had binary covered, you had environment covered, you also had the coding covered, and then there's some people playing with Play-Doh.
No, that was a little bit different. They were making, I'm trying to remember the word that they called it, but it was, they put together, gosh, I'm trying to remember what it was. But it's that stuff that kids love to play with. It's a very popular thing that it just, you mix some different solutions together, and they were making this crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like a slime of some sort.
I think there's a name for it. It may be slime or something like that, and they're going to get me at work for not remembering what it was. But the kids had more fun with that than anything, because they were mixing it, and they all went home with a little container of it, so it was fun.
So is this a one-time event, or there's stuff for STEM type of?
All the time.
All the time.
We're always doing activities. Go to our website, see what we're into, call us, and we'll be glad to explain what we're doing.
Perfect. So if you're a homeschool?
Doesn't matter. We're interdenominational. If you're a church, if you're a homeschool, if you're a student, it doesn't matter. If you're interested in STEM, or you're a teacher, you need support, call us. We'll help you.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I appreciate you being able to make it out here for the show.
Thank you.
Definitely contact the Doolittle Institute if you want to find out some more information about the STEM and some of the other things that you've done, especially if you're involved in engineering. This is definitely a great organization for that.
Sure.
Any last words you'd like to let people know about?
Hey, if you're an engineer and you want to come and volunteer some time, if you're just a person interested in helping kids, come see us. We'll get you to work.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out.
Murdock. Thanks.
And thank you for watching our Emerald Coast Community, a show that highlights the people, businesses, organizations that are making a difference in our community. And you make a difference in our community as well. Take care, and we'll see you next time.